during the presentation. I shall keep track of them and display them during the question period. Thank you, and over to you, Nicole.
Thank you, Nick. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are all well. I see we have a nice group of people that's joining with us today, and I'm very happy and excited to be presenting to you all today. So enjoy today's session on mobile technology. So today we'll be, as I mentioned, we'll be looking at mobile technology and what are mobile technologies. Many of us today are using platforms such as WhatsApp, BBM, Mixit, and so on. And for those of you who are part of our discussion on Twitter, and Instagram, these are all mobile technologies that we are all active in or potentially active in after this digital webinar series. So we'll kick off our session this afternoon with what exactly mobile technologies are. So there's been a very large growth of mobile technology. Mobile technology is the technology used for cellular communication. Many of us have our cell phones with us 24/7. Most likely some of you have it right next to you, right next to your laptop right now. And this is our form of communication. As you can see, there's a decline in people actually sitting and watching TV, sitting behind their laptops, watching DVDs, watching TV, listening to the radio, although radio is still the second highest in communication and where people are actually listening and accessing information. So yes, there are over 29 million mobile phone users in South Africa. So what does that mean to us? It means we have just another way through which we can communicate and share our stories, information, research, knowledge to a very large connected audience. Did you know that South Africa ranks 5th in the world for mobile data usage? Research conducted by Worldwide Works in South Africa demonstrated that internet browsing via phones now stands at 40%, with 51% of the respondents on this research being in Ghana and 47% in Nigeria, reporting that they use their phones to access the internet. South Africa lags behind at 40% and Kenya at 34%, with Uganda 29%, with being the lowest on the uptake. However, South Africa leads in application downloads, usually an indication of higher smartphone adoption, with 34% of phone users making downloads from app stores. This compares to 31% in Ghana, 28% in Nigeria, 19% in Kenya, and 18% in Uganda. This research showed that 46% reported owning a Nokia as their previous phone. Many of you will remember owning the Nokia 3310, our old faithful phones that needed charging once a week. And today you end up charging your phone at the end of every single day. Only 34% own a Nokia now, and only half of those, 18%, intend buying a Nokia in the future. The big winner in the race in cell phone technology is Samsung, which is currently owned by 17% of respondents, up marginally from 14% ownership previously. When asked what phone will be bought next, the Samsung proportion shot up to 26%, more than a quarter of phone users. A big surprise of the survey was the finding that BlackBerry, which has held steady at 6% penetration for current and previous phones, is expected to rise to 16%. While this flies in the face of international trends, it reveals a hidden dynamic of the aspirations of new smartphone users. The most common phone activity in all of these countries, Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, Ghana, and South Africa, includes 48% use Facebook, 45% send SMS, 41% listen to the radio, and 37% take photographs, 36% use instant messaging, 32% play games, 26% download apps, and 13% use Twitter. These are important figures to us, as this is an indication of where and how we should be thinking about our communication strategies, where we want to be focusing our efforts and our attention in our communication strategies when thinking about our mobile strategy and incorporating mobile into our communication efforts. Social networking apps and instant messaging in particular are proving to be very popular. Some services, such as Mixit in South Africa, have managed to solve the problems of distribution and have designed the service for thousands of types of handsets. We'll go into this a little bit later. The major benefit of these services is the low cost. Instant messaging is much cheaper than voice calls or sending an SMS. For today's webinar, we will be looking at WhatsApp, BBM or BlackBerry Messenger, and Mixit or Message Exchange, how to download the apps and how you could use it in your everyday operations. So let's start with WhatsApp. So what is WhatsApp? WhatsApp is an instant messaging service with over 400 million users. According to the telegraph.co.uk, WhatsApp sends 20 billion messages per day, double the size of Facebook's daily messaging traffic. WhatsApp allows you to send text messages, audio, and video to others, as long as you subscribe for the service. But as long as you have a strong internet connection or Wi-Fi, the app will never add additional roaming charges to your phone. WhatsApp is available for iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, Nokia, and Windows. So, are you interested in WhatsApp? I'm sure many of you are already using the application. So yes, WhatsApp Messenger is a cross-platform mobile messaging app which allows users to exchange messages and much more without having to pay for them. 430 million active monthly users, and it is growing. WhatsApp is adding over 1 million users each day. 72% of the users check the app every day. I think for many of us, we're checking it at least every 10 minutes. The average number of times that users check the application is 23 times per day. 50 billion messages is processed every day. WhatsApp processes 50 billion messages. That is a huge amount of messages being sent across the world within your country. So an average user sends more than 1,000 messages per month. One would think, do I really chat that much? Do I really have that much to say? And yes, according to WhatsApp. 500 million images are sent per day. So an average WhatsApp user uploads 40 photos, sends 7 videos, and 13 voice messages per month. Downloading WhatsApp is fairly simple, and if you are already using a smartphone, you will have already downloaded it. And for those who have not, this is how you do it. Simply go to your iTunes App Store if you are using an Apple phone, or on your Samsung or Nokia, Windows Nokia, you would go to your Android marketplace. Launch the app from your smartphone. Follow the on-screen prompts to create a WhatsApp account that will be linked to your phone number, and then allow WhatsApp to sync with your contacts to message people you know with ease. Manage your favorites over there. As you can see the icon at the bottom there. Once in your account, you will see all your contacts who already have WhatsApp accounts on the favorites tab. Invite friends you'd like to message to use at WhatsApp. Tap on the contacts tab, tap on it, and in the middle of the navigation bar, find a contact and tap on it to view its details. Simply tap invite the person's name to get WhatsApp to send them an SMS invitation to download the app. Then you're ready to go. You can start chatting. Tap chats in the navigation bar, as you see over there. Tap the pencil icon in the top right-hand corner and select a contact to start a new WhatsApp message with. You will be taken to a new chat window where you can start typing a message. Wait for your message to be delivered to your friend's phone or your contact's phone. For many of us, we wait for that dreaded tick. Have they read my message? So one check mark indicates that it has been delivered to the server, and 2 check marks mean that it was delivered to the recipients. So many of us wait in anticipation to see that 2 blue ticks. That indicates that the recipient has read your message. Now you wait for the reply. So you can manage your chats. Tap chats in the navigation bar. You'll see a list of all your WhatsApp conversations with individual users and groups. Tap on one to continue a conversation or to read an old one. Change your settings by tapping the settings icon in the navigation bar. Here you will be able to edit your name. So you will add your name as Nicole Bibi, or if you want to use nickname, you can use Nikki, or whatever the case may be. Then, of course, you can add a profile picture. These you can change as often as you change your Facebook picture, for example, Facebook profile picture. And then simply click Save. Then we have WhatsApp group chats. To start a new group, you would just tap the New Group button at the top navigation bar underneath the pencil icon on an iPhone, or tap the Menu Options button and find New Group for BlackBerry, Android, Nokia, or Windows phones. In the subject field, type a name for the group chat and add participants right underneath. You will also be able to select a picture for your group. Later on in this session, we will discuss how exactly you can use group chats effectively for your work. For now, we're just looking at setting it up. And then we have BlackBerry Messenger. What is BlackBerry Messenger? BlackBerry Messenger is the way to connect and share instant messages, pictures, and more for free in real time. It is an internet-based PIN instant messenger and video telephony application included on BlackBerry devices that allows messaging and voice calls between BlackBerry, Apple operating systems, Windows phones, and Android users. Users on BlackBerry 10 can also use video calling. So BlackBerry Messenger, also known as BBM, is a internet-based PIN instant messenger that you use to send instant messages to all of those on your contact list. There are more than 190 million BBM users worldwide. Exchanging messages is possible to a single person or via dedicated discussion. So you can chat to groups, which allow multiple BlackBerry devices to communicate in a single session. In addition to offering text-based instant messages, BlackBerry Messenger also allows users to send pictures, voice notes or audio recordings, files, location on a map, stickers, and a wide selection of emoticons. Also, contacts can make voice calls with each other over the Wi-Fi or mobile network, and the top spec devices can even make video calls. So yes, 35 million global BBM subscribers, 60% global penetration amongst BlackBerry subscribers, 1.5 million new users per month, 2,000 new users per hour, 130,000% growth in BlackBerry BBM subscribers over the past year. The BlackBerry Messenger community is there when it counts. So there's been a 300% lift in traffic after winning goal at World Cup finals. So this is exactly how BBM has used their platform to use as an advertising platform. In the World Cup finals, after the winning goal, there was a 300% lift in traffic. Why? Because they use their platform to communicate and as an advertising service. So chat with BBM, you can chat in the real time. So have real conversations with friends over your phone, over your mobile phone, and know when your messages are delivered and read. Plus, you can personalize your profile with a profile picture, stickers, and emoticons. BBM chats have never sounded better with free voice calls. Of course, we all want to hear our voices, although when I play back these webinars, I'm not so sure about wanting to hear my own voice. But however, when you're thinking of your instant messenger, it's also nice to know that you can do free voice calls over the internet. Then, of course, even better, being able to do video chats. If I think of my wide networks in the Northern Hemisphere, I'm able to have video chats with them and feel like they're right next to me. So BBM Voice allows you to communicate with your contacts through voice messages. And then BBM for PC or your laptop or your Mac is also available on all operating systems such as Windows, Mac, and Linux. And BBM allows unlimited images to be sent. It's never been easier to share high quality images and videos than with BBM for PC and, well, just your BBM for mobile. So how do you get BlackBerry Messenger? Steps for downloading. Also fairly simple. Simply go to your Google Play Store, iTunes, or your App Store and click download and install BlackBerry Messenger. After installing the application, go ahead and launch it. You will then be required to create or log in with an ID. You can create the BlackBerry ID by registering your Facebook account or email address. If you already have an ID, use it to log in. Then tap on More. This is at the lower right corner of your screen to show more options. Another nice feature on BlackBerry Messenger is the option to create multi-person chats, or in our case, group chats. So select Start Multi-Person Chat from the additional options. Select all the names on your contact list that you want to start the chat with. After selecting, tap Done at the top right. Your friends will be notified of the multi-person chat you have made. Type in your message to start the chat. Type on the message box, send your message, and wait for a response. You can also do the things you do on the regular chats, like share photos, use emoticons, send recordings, and share your location. And then we have Mixit. Mixit is a mobile social network that works on more than 8,000 devices. It's crazy to actually perceive and to think that there are over 8,000 devices out there, available out there. According to a study by World Wide Works, Mixit had 7.4 million monthly active subscribers in July 2013. It is August 2015. Can we only imagine what the numbers show today? So, of which 6.3 of that 7.4 million are in South Africa. Users love Mixit for their data light functionality and spend hours per week discovering and sharing the things they like and love. From sport pages and news to weather, brands, games, and celebs, Mixit has something for everyone. The creator of Mixit, Herman Hunes, in a presentation described Mixit. He says it's pronounced Mix-It. It is a free instant messaging software application developed in South Africa that runs on GPRS, 3G mobile phones, and on PCs. So requiring for mobile, you need your JavaScript, GPRS, and for your PC, you need internet access. It is a simple platform that has a simple layout. On your laptop as well, simple layout. What does it look like? So basically, changeable presence, personal status, same as with WhatsApp, where you are able to personalize your whole profile by adding a profile status message. You can change your name. You can add a cute little name. Many people today would use their Kiki or Nixie or whatever the case may be. Then also changeable moods, which is a more unique thing to Mixit. And then, of course, your profile picture. So what can you do with your features on your Mixit? You can view, edit, and update your personal Mixit profile. You can have multi-mix, so create a private chat room by inviting up to 7 of your Mixit contacts. You can add contact by inviting other Mixit users, and you can create a group. Organize Mixit contacts by putting them in groups. This is different from the multi-mix chats, where you have a chat room of friends and contacts, Mixit contacts. Here you are creating a group of people that have similar interests. So what is free and what is not free on Mixit? It is free to download the application. It is free to chat with your personal Mixit contacts. It is free to send and receive files, including photographs and recordings. To create private chat rooms, it is also free to create private chat rooms with your contacts. The paid-for service includes chatting in the public chat rooms, application customizations such as your skins and music services, and then other additional services such as your advertising services, using Mixit for advertising. So what is Mixit used for? It is a social networking service used for advertising. It is used for entertainment, dating, which we'll come back to in a few, classifieds. education, TV interaction, counseling, mobile banking, microtransactions, location-based, and social development. So in the case of dating, you find that there are dates that you are able to meet and greet people in specific chat rooms. These are known to be quite dangerous spaces if we think about young children that are using this platform. So we'll look at safety and chatting safely online at the end of the session. And then we also look at counseling. This is a great and unique way that you can actually use these kind of instant messenger platforms to communicate to your groups of people, to groups that you want to specifically counsel, or if you are especially in the doing work that requires you to counsel people. We will look at specific example and a practical use of this in a few as well. Then mobile banking and microtransactions. Mixit has a tool called Moola where you can purchase, where they have their own currency. This is called Moola. So you can buy your music and your games and so on using the Mixit currency called Moola. So as I mentioned, a practical way that Mixit is using their tool for social development, for counseling and so on is called Mixit Reach. Mixit Reach was established to inspire and improve lives through the development of innovative and cost-effective mobile solutions. Mixit Reach partners with organizations such as UNICEF, Love Life, and Childline. Every month, over 1 million people access educational, health, and counseling services via Mixit Reach. The Reach Trust has helped more than 10 million people transform their lives through access to free education, health, and counseling services on their mobile phone. This ranges from life-enhancing digital education programs and discrete text-based counseling to daily activities that stimulate mental and physical development in the critical first 1,000 days of life. Through Mixit Reach, 825,000 people have received discrete text-based counseling. 1.5 million expecting mothers subscribe to the Baby Info app for customized daily pregnancy advice messages. More than 600,000 parents have used the Groovy Adventurers app to stimulate the mental and physical development of 1 to 3-year-olds in the critical first 1,000 days of a life. More than 140,000 learners in South Africa have signed up for the Ukufunda virtual school. More than 500,000 young people make use of educational apps, development programs, and learning aids every month. Learners from more than 10,000 schools in South Africa took part in the Learn to Earn pilot in 2015. So if you would like to communicate important information to a large audience at once, or your organization is involved in direct community work, you can consider using an application such as Mixit Reach, which is a tool specifically developed for the NGO community to help them in the work that they do, or to communicate your messages. At the bottom over there is the URL for the Reach Trust, in case this is something you would like to get involved with in your organization. Then the steps for downloading Mixit. Open your internet web browser on your mobile or your PC and simply type in www.get.mixit.com. Select Download Mixit and sit back and watch Mixit being downloaded. Once the download is complete, find Mixit on your phone. It will usually download to your applications, games, or on some phones installations. Start Mixit and follow the prompts to register. To register, you will be required to complete a form providing basic information such as your name, cell phone number, and password. Your cell phone number is your username. You will enter this every time you log in together with the password you have selected. Then you would obviously need to add some contacts. So go to Menu, select Contacts, add the contact, and voila, you are set up. So you can also select Mixit, Mixit Services, Jabber, Google Talk, MSN, or ICQ. This means you can use other chat applications which have been integrated into the Mixit platform. Many of us have Gmail email address accounts with where we are able to use our Gtalk. This can then be integrated into your Mixit platform, and you are able to chat with your Google Talk people that you are usually chatting to over Google Talk or MSN or Jabber. You will be able to chat with them over Mixit as well. So to add a Mixit contact, you will have to provide the following details for the person you would like to add as your Mixit contact. Add mobile number, nickname, invitation message, and group. So that's it for our brief introduction to WhatsApp, BBM, and Mixit. For us, we would have to decide which platform works best for which organization, or how we would integrate it into your work efforts. But how is it valuable for us as NGOs? So as I mentioned, all of the platforms, WhatsApp, BBM, and Mixit, we looked at this afternoon, have the functionality of creating groups, group chats. These are especially useful if, for example, you have teams or clubs which require you to have to organize properly. Many have used it to share calendar of activities and so on. Everyone may be notified with the tasks they are supposed to do from the shared list. The group may talk about things before they have to meet in person. So the team leader wants to call, for example, if a team leader wants to call a meeting, he or she may message everyone in no time. It also allows groups to share photos and memes. It does not only solidify the group, but also builds friendships. Many of the times you find yourself chatting and interacting over these chats in a more informal tone as well. These group chats are also useful if you'd like to share moments. So as the saying goes, no man is an island. No man stands alone, and no man talks to himself. That may look and sound creepy. Therefore, we may have special moments in our lives that we wish to share. We might have been awarded funding or helped someone or another organization achieve something. So these are also group chats allows you to share your stories, share your organization, good news stories, and it's best of all, it can be shared in real time. So we are able to share information right now as it happens on the go. Just like with Twitter and Instagram, where we're speaking about everything happening in the real time, everything happening in the now, the same applies with instant messenger. In fact, I would hope to think that instant messenger is even faster and quicker, provided if in WhatsApp's case that you see the blue ticks that our messages have been delivered. And then we want to coordinate groups of people. Similar to teams and clubs, group chats allows you to coordinate groups of people connected and coordinated, so in one place without the need to personally see each other. Chatting with your friends or colleagues in real time is a fun and simple way of connecting. You can share anything from calendars, lists, and photos to the latest gossip, know-hows, and news. Our resources, our reports, or our links to reports within these chats. When creating lists, you may assign people to be responsible for certain tasks and let all of them know the tasks are completed. So this is a great way of being able to check up, or maybe not so great for many. It's a great way to check that work has been completed or a specific task has been done. And then, of course, we want to make sure that these mobile efforts are incorporated into our fundraising campaigns or into our communication efforts. So we can do this by possibly launching a mobile SMS campaign. If you simply Google, you will find there are loads and loads of bulk SMS platforms for which you can sign up and distribute your SMSs at either free or very, very low cost. Just think of how many advertorials you are receiving on your mobile phone on a daily basis. So you too can be capitalizing on this technology and spreading your information. Of course, we don't want to be spamming anyone, but it's something to keep in mind. It is a great way to share information immediately. You can add a mobile SMS subscription form to your homepage and every page of your website or your blog. So you can ask and invite people if they would be comfortable receiving text messages from your organization about any news updates, events, etc. And as part of your communication strategy, you will also be conscious of how often you are sending out text messages so that you are not spamming your audience, as I mentioned previously. Then add your text to give campaign to your More Ways to Give page. So if you are already using mobile technologies as part of your fundraising efforts, you can include this information on your More Ways to Give or your donate pages. These are important things to note because if you are already adding the short code SMS donate, so you would send out an SMS to everyone saying SMS donate to 31215. This information you would need to put on would be good to add to your website as on all of the pages of your website where it is relevant. So why should you invest in mobile technology? The mobile web is often discussed as a future trend that nonprofits have time to prepare for. But the reality is that the majority of your supporters and donors will be viewing your website, email communications, blogs, and social media content on smartphones and tablets. In truth, the mobile web is already here. Going mobile will not be free and for many small NGOs, a costly upgrade. But to successfully communicate your mission and programs and fundraise online in coming years, it is a necessary investment. So the mobile web already rules. It was projected that the mobile web will surpass desktop. So it would be wise, it would be advisable rather, to launch a website that is responsibly designed. This means that you will create or build your website so that your whichever platform that you are viewing the website from automatically detects what kind of device it is being viewed from. So if you are viewing it from a tablet, from an iPad, or your mobile phone, your website should automatically be able to respond to that design of the device. Mobile email is on the rise. So as of September 2013, 40% of email is now opened on a mobile device. In 2012, online donations via email dropped to 21% due to donate pages not being mobile compatible. This speaks to the comment that I made above about a responsive design website. So what you have to prioritize for email? Mobile optimize your donate page and redesign your e-newsletter to ensure that it is compatible with mobile email. For many of us that are on this call as well, you live on the go, you live with your mobile phone. As I said at the beginning of our session, our phones are with us 24/7 all the time. So that means we are also checking our email all the time, checking our WhatsApps all the time, or checking our BBM and Mixit all the time. So we want to be sure that so in this case of email, we want to be sure that our e-newsletters are designed in a way that it can be read on your mobile device as well. Social networks are mobile. So as of February 2013, 65% of social networking occurs on a mobile device, especially during commutes, lunch breaks, and evening hours. Your nonprofit, your NGO, would be wise to act on the fact that the majority of your followers or your supporters access the content you post on your social networks on mobile devices. So what you can prioritize for this is to purchase a smartphone or tablet for your communications and development staff. This is a common thread throughout our session, our webinar sessions over the past few weeks, is how do we include all of these things, these digital activities into our work, into our everyday operations. In terms of mobile technology, we want to actually go out there and buy a smartphone or a tablet for our communications team to make sure that they are also able to be active on these platforms using a smartphone device. So over the past few weeks, we've looked at Facebook, we've looked at Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all of which have or are mobile apps. Your audiences are there, so why aren't you? So make sure that you are signed up for all of these if it is in line with the work that you are doing and if it is in line with your communication strategy. Texting is a tool still not mastered. So mobile phone owners send an average of 678 texts a month. So you want to make sure that you start collecting mobile phone numbers and launch a texting and or text to give campaign. And of course, it's not always as cut and dry and as simple as fun and laughter and playing and adding people and just signing up for all of these tools and technologies. There's also the dark side of mobile technology. There are things such as addiction. So getting too addicted to your chatting, so spending more time on your chat than actually doing work. Then things such as cyberbullying, cyber harassment. So there's always the possibility that you can be cyberbullied. This means that somebody could be harassing you online, calling names, or even as far as sexual harassment. Or if you think about victims of cyberbullying, where a girl may have sent a boy a picture, an image where she's perhaps topless or in the nude, and this then goes viral. These are forms of cyber harassment, cyberbullying. And then social skills. If we think of ourselves with our phones always on, always connected, always possibly chatting, this speaks to our social skills. You're at the dinner table and we're no longer chatting. We are no longer actually engaged with the people in front of us. So we want to become more conscious of our social skills and make sure that when we are at the dinner table, when we are out with friends, put the cell phone away and be in the real time in reality with your real friends. Then of course privacy. As I mentioned, as I used the example around cyberbullying, um, there's also the idea that your privacy will be infringed on, where again, you may have sent a picture to a boy that you thought was sent in privacy or sent in secret, and this then goes viral throughout over the networks. So you want to be considerate and thoughtful of the kind of things that you are sharing over these networks, over these platforms. And then there's scams and fraud. Be careful not to just click on links, or send or buy things or purchase things over these platforms, because scams and fraud happens. Then of course the predators in chat rooms, people that are playing are saying that they one thing when they actually another thing. So as you can see on the example over there, hi, you sound really cute, how old are you, and what would you like to what are you doing after school? And big guy over there, I am 14 and a bit of a fitness fanatic. I often go powerlifting after school. So these are the kind of things that we should be wary of. And if you are a parent, these are the kind of things you want to be consciously, actively teaching your children, your teenagers, as children today are becoming more and more connected, um, than us as adults as well. And these are the kind of, and if you think in terms of MXit specifically, where it is free, where it is cheaper, where it is really cheap to actually be engaged in on that platform, these are the places where where you are more prone to find predators lurking and being after little girls, like as indicated in the picture. So just some safety tips for chatting safely online. Be it on your mobile or on your desktop. You want to use a strong password. So usually advised, a combination of upper and lowercase letters, symbols, and numbers. If you're anything like me, where I way too often forget my passwords, you can actually use platforms or apps that allow you to save your passwords, and which are also private um, and you are able to store your passwords in the app and be able to access them when you forget. Don't believe everything you read. Make sure you know it's coming from a reliable source. Um, this is also a common thread of, if you think about your Facebook, how much content on your Facebook platform or newsfeed rather, you are seeing so many articles, and from so many different sources. How do you know that it is a credible source? So Be conscious, be smart, don't believe everything you read. Make sure you know where it's coming from and that it is a reliable source. Then don't give out any private information over the internet or through your mobile phones about you, your family, friends, or other people that you know. Think before you send. You have to think about what you are saying and how the recipient or recipients may feel. That also ties in with the next one. Don't hide behind a computer screen. If you wouldn't say it to their face, don't say it at all. Don't post inappropriate or illegal content anywhere on the internet and over these chat applications. Of course, in terms of your privacy, think about if you would want that content to go viral, if you would want a specific photograph to go viral. Of course, that is what happens out there. So be conscious of the type of information that you are sharing, that you are sending, and that you may think you are sending privately. Make sure your social networking profile is set to private. So check your security settings on all of your platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of these, WhatsApp, BBM, and Mexit, all of them have security settings. So be sure to look at it, read it, and understand it, and know what you are signing up for. Also, only accept friend requests from people you actually know. Even if it is a friend of a friend, it's not a good idea to just add them unless you actually know them. This also then ties into things where um, this actually happened when you just sign up for Facebook or any of these platforms. Oh, friend request, add, friend request, add. Be conscious. Do you actually know them? Many of us sit with 1,500 people that friends on Facebook, when in reality you actually only know 200 of these people. However, if you think in terms of LinkedIn, where it's about extending your network, as we said in LinkedIn, in the LinkedIn session, there you can actually send a message to someone once you have once you have added them, or once you have started networking with them. Actually establish a relationship, because this is a professional and a business tool. It is a space where you can actually start the conversation and engage with these people. However, in the case of Facebook and Twitter and so on, these are more of a personal and social space where you are interacting on a more personal and social level. So yeah, you want to be more conscious of who you are just adding. Then tell your friends to ask for your permission before uploading and or tagging a photo of you on their social networking profiles. Think about the time every time you apply for a job. If your potential new boss decides to go and look for you on social networks, which is also becoming a more common thing these days, where companies would actually go look at your social media platforms. Would they want to see a picture of yourself dancing naked or dancing half naked rather, very very drunk on top of a bar? Would that be the type of image you would want to portray? Of course not. So and if your friends are the ones that have posted it, then this is exactly why you should be telling them to ask for your permission before tagging and uploading photos of you on your social networking profiles. And then lastly, don't click on any links that are embedded in emails. Type the URL into the browser and go from there. Do not click through from the email or from the platform that you are looking at it from. Rather, go and type the URL yourself. Most of the times you'd end up with spam or possibly viruses, and which could obviously then be damaging to your computer or your laptop or your tablet. And that is the end of today's session on mobile technologies. I hope you all found it very informative, and hopefully we'll be chatting soon, if I accept. Thank you, Wendell.
Thanks, Nicole. That was really interesting, and I think as we were going through, I laughed at that one about the chats and don't believe everything you see online. And I think that's definitely one of the important things to think about, is that, there's so much odd stuff out there that you really do need to make sure you're getting your stuff from a reliable source.
Exactly, because there are way too many times where you're on your Facebook or on your Twitter and you read a headline and you're like, oh no, is that true? Can't be. It can't be that, who's a famous star? That David Beckham and Victoria are getting a divorce. And then most times you click through and unfortunately, sorry, it's just that David is having an affair and the media decides to blow it all out of proportion. But these are these sites, these are these websites, and most often we just buy into the hype and we believe what is said. So yes, be very conscious of the type of links that you're clicking through to.
I always think, as much as online and mobile allows us to expand our opportunities, it also provides a lot of additional risks, and especially around our privacy. So we really do need to be really cautious of how we go about and conduct ourselves online and on our phones.
Absolutely. And I think way too many people take for granted that these applications are just so quick and easy, and we don't stop to think, let me think consciously, what am I sharing right now? So yeah, I think it's way too simple. We take for granted what these applications can do for us, and we just click and send.
Oh, well, on a more serious side, I was really interested to see about the Mxit Reach. So all of those examples that you gave on the slide about Reach, I went onto the website and had a look to see what was on the Reach Trust's website. So accessing those are those just case studies, and what does Reach Trust do in terms of supporting that, or are they just the platform that you can work through?
So it is a partnership between with Love Life, I think it is, I said, and UNICEF. So Mxit has built the platform, of course, and through the platform you are able to send out your bulk messages. You're able to send out, for example, the counseling kind of sessions. You are able to send out, so people can also then log into the platform, your Mxit platform, that has been set up by Love Life, for example, because there might be a session at a specific time, or for example, especially around the education side of things, if there's a tutorial around a specific topic at a specific time, students will log into the platform at a given time, very much like our webinar series for that matter. So the Reach is just the platform. Reach is just Mxit Reach, which is this partnership of Mxit and these other organizations, and they have all of these programs where you are able to do your counseling sessions, your education sessions. You saw one of the examples was providing maternal information to pregnant mothers. Then I mentioned also the education aspect to it. So yes, it's a very interesting platform. I know that our labs in Cape Town have also had a hand in using that platform as well. So it's something worth exploring. And if you want to maybe share my screen again, I can actually just go to the website and everyone can just have a look at the website just to get involved, if you would like to get involved or to actually use this website.
Because a friend of mine, she worked at Childline and she was doing online counseling with young people, and apparently it was a really useful platform because young people felt comfortable with Mxit, and they also felt their anonymity was more protected because they weren't necessarily phoning in, they were just chatting online.
Yes.
So it seemed to go down really well in terms of quite serious counseling for young people who were accessing counseling through like a service like Childline.
And
so I thought that was really interesting.
Yes, exactly. And exactly that it's your messages are discreet, so nobody knows who's the person on the other side who's sending the message or who's asking a question. It's a really nice thing because, of course, many people feel ashamed about what they're asking. And if you think in terms of school children, they need they need advice on a specific topic and they're too scared to put their hand up in the classroom, yeah, they're able to do it in a mobile chat and nobody knows who is behind the mobile phone. So yes, yeah, it is indeed a very nice platform or tool to use within your work, specific work.
And I could see applications for many of our partners. So, for instance, around providing access. So, if people are looking for information about where their local clinic is, say, for instance, or what department they should go to apply for a social grant. So, it could share information as well as referrals to different services.
And if I stand under correction, but I think that actually make this platforms, they brand it for your specific needs. So which is also nice because then you really feel like you are part of a community that is specific to you. So you provide customized daily messages. Yeah, very nice.
Well, I see we do have a question. Oh, sorry, do you want to do the Reach Trust thing, and then we can? I think we did have one question, didn't we, Nick?
It's a comment from Spey. And yes, I agree with you, Spey, that it's not about numbers. It's let me just read it out. It's not a real question. His comment is that it's not a real question, but it's just a note about the importance of following people you really know instead of having a lot of friends you really don't know, but become happy with numbers. It's so true and a real symbol of maturity. I only have 70 friends on Facebook. Absolutely, and it makes so much sense. It does not make you antisocial. It does show your maturity. Many people just think the more friends you have, the more social status you have, the more popular you are, the more and of course it really is around your social status. People think that you are popular, that the more numbers, the more followers you have on Instagram. And if in terms of your work, I've said this in our Facebook session, it's not about how many followers and likes you are receiving on a post. It's how many people you are reaching through the content that you are sharing. That is actually what is of importance. It doesn't matter how many people, because bear in mind that when you're making a post on Facebook, if you're using things like sponsored, it's going on to sponsored, which is the advertising platform on Facebook. Your post is reaching so many thousands of people who just simply may not care. And ultimately, but that number does not equate to what you actually, the reach that you actually want to have. So the numbers does not matter. I agree with you, Spey. It doesn't count how many friends you have. Yes, in my case, I've tried when I just signed up for Facebook. I just done all the adding of numbers. I just done all the adding of friends rather. And at one point I sat with 1,800 people. I'd done a cleanup on Facebook, and I'm now sitting at 800, so I'm due for another cleanup. But even sitting so, I'm like,
your poor friends to clean up.
No, I needed to do a cleanup of these numbers. I sat there and I was like, I don't know you. Gone. I don't know you. Bye. And exactly that. It's the people that it's friends of friends. So you're like, shame, I've seen you somewhere. Maybe I can keep you. But actually, no, it doesn't mean anything. So, and you're welcome, Spey.
Oh dear. And just in terms of the SMSs, I was interested also to see that a lot of the workshops that we have with community members, we take down cell phone numbers, but just to also make sure that we ask for consent before we add people's cell phone numbers to mailing lists or to groups that we might create. So just to make sure that we also always ask consent if we are going to join people to groups or to even WhatsApp groups or SMS lists, to make sure that we ask consent before we do that.
Yes, it's a necessity, because if I think of how many spam SMSs I'm receiving and I'm not even sure when or at what point I signed up for it, I want to pull my braids out, because hate it. I hate it. And and I would hate that as an NGO, I'm sending out communications and people are feeling that way. However, if you know that that person, if people know that they have signed up for it, they feel more comfortable knowing that they are receiving it and it's information that they personally want to be receiving. So yes,
Yes.
consent form is a necessity in the work that we're doing, and when we're doing the collecting of cell phone numbers and so on.
And also people should be able to opt out. If they opt in, they also should be able to opt out
Yes,
as well. Mm,
yes,
mm.
yes,
And then I
absolutely.
was thinking, Nicole, just in terms of mobile technologies, we should also, as organizations, check our websites and making sure that our websites are mobile friendly.
Yes, that was one of the points that I made in terms of what should we be prioritizing when we're thinking of investing in mobile technologies. So you want to launch your, if you can redesign your
Mm,
website and make sure that it's responsively designed so that it can be detected by whichever device you are viewing it from. So yes, responsive design is the way to go, so that as soon as you look at it from your mobile or your tablet or your iPad, it's going to automatically, the website is going to reform, reshape to whichever device you're viewing from. The same thing for your email, your e-newsletters. Make sure that it is optimized for your device. So responsive design
mm.
is the way to
Mm.
go.
And I mean, I'm sure, some organizations, you don't necessarily have newer websites. You might have a website that was designed 5 or 6 years ago,
Yes.
and isn't mobile friendly. So just to maybe go through and test your website on a mobile phone or a tablet, just to check whether it does have that sort of functionality.
Absolutely. And if you think for of your blogs, if you um, for those who participated in the WordPress blogging session, it's so cool how WordPress has created it. You can actually click on the platform, click on a button so that you can actually see how your blog will be viewed from a tablet, or how it would be viewed from your smartphone. So if you
Mm.
already have an older website that you don't have a budget um, to redesign it, you can be signing up for a WordPress blog and be sharing your news and your more current and relevant news and information, and you can have it responsively designed. You know that people will be clicking through from your social networks, going straight to your blog, and it will be detected on whichever device. So there's ways around
Mm.
that budget constraint in terms of websites.
Yeah,
it
going
might
and,
take
and
it might take
redesigning your whole.
well, it might take a little bit
Mm.
of work, but it's free to design that WordPress blog. So it might
Yeah,
just take a little bit
yeah.
of time and energy on your part, but it will be worthwhile in the long run.
No, I think so too. And I mean, mobile phones are becoming so much nicer to be able to communicate with your audience as well, that, things are much more immediate if you have your organization's Facebook page on your phone, and you can automatically upload some photos and a comment, and everything is much quicker and more immediate.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of
Mm,
mobile technology and this mobile, or rather this digital age that we are living in. Everything is so instant and
mm,
immediate. What's this? Instant
mm.
gratification.
But I did think it was quite interesting, the stats you were talking about at the beginning, Nicole, where you were talking about South Africa. What was it? The fifth largest cell phone or data
In
user in
data
Africa.
usage, and who would have
Mm,
thought that
mm,
we'd be up there? Because this is a common question as well in our sessions is, yes, but what
mm,
is the scenario in terms of data usage? I think this is where Mixit wins in terms of costs, because their
mm,
platform is the cheapest. You hardly need to use you don't use an internet connection. You're using a GPRS or Java to connect. So I guess they are winning and in the forefront in this in instant messenger chats instant messenger for South Africans. Well, it is going outside Africa, South Africa now. But yes, to know that we are actually, our broadband is quite, it might be as slow as it is, but we are up there in data usage, and
mm.
that's where our consumption is. If we look at that images again, am I still sharing my screen?
Yes.
Yes, 29 million mobile phone users. So nobody's actually sitting on there. Nobody even uses a landline telephone anymore. Nobody's unless you're at work. This is you're not going home and using your computer. 6 million people still do that. Who still? I'm actually shocked with the 18 million that are still using DVD because with things like like Netflix now, there's no need for these kind of things any longer. So yeah, it's very interesting to see that our data usage is on the rise.
Yeah, and considering it's quite expensive.
It is expensive,
Mm.
yes, indeed, indeed.
Yes, yes. And also, I think I'll circulate, I'll have a look and see what the data was, but there was quite interesting research in terms of household spend on data and communication costs. A good percentage of household data, household income was being used on communications and data costs. It was quite an interesting piece of research.
Yeah, that would be very interesting to share. Please do.
Mm,
Please, it would be good.
mm, mm.
Very nice. But yes, I guess it is part of our budgeting now.
Yes, yes, it does. It falls part of as a basic necessity nowadays.
Yes, and I think one of the slides that I mentioned there, not I think it, yes, I did, is that in terms of our work, we should actually invest in actually buying a smartphone for the organization, for the communications team. Just thinking in
Mm,
terms of that budget, it should be a organization tool already, a actual
mm,
device
mm.
within the organization. Yeah, so if you don't have the tablets and the fancy iPads or laptops, at least have a smartphone so that you can be chatting or engaging with people using smartphone technology.
And I mean, we have Wozamoya on the line, and they're also using their smartphones to gather data, say, for instance, for their monitoring and evaluation. So they use an application called Mabenzi, which is a survey tool, but that is all on your phone, and it's a South African product that also allows for multiple languages, and you input data. So when they go out to visit a household, they would gather the household data and put it directly onto the telephone, and that it uploads it to a web console, and people can access it from the office, and it comes through immediately. So if there are any immediate concerns within that household, or if something is more of an emergency that needs an immediate response, they would be able to respond to those sorts of queries coming in. And then it also allows for an easy aggregation and analysis of that data because it's already captured. So a person doesn't have to go in and be a data capturer with lots of pieces of paper and with the possibilities of inaccuracies in terms of capturing that data. So it reduces incorrect data as well as reducing time to be able to quickly and easily analyze it and produce some really interesting reports.
Oh, that's brilliant. Today's presentation was quite basic in terms of introduction to the types of mobile technologies, but it's really very nice and really great to hear that our partners are using even more advanced technologies as part of their daily work. I mean, as to be capturing and the monitoring and evaluation reports. I think that's brilliant. Maybe then also just share that that tool with me, because I'd be happy to also include that on our blog. I think it's good tools to.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think we should be sharing that information as well.
No, definitely. No, I think there's really interesting things happening out there. So please, if anybody's got any fantastic examples of mobile apps that you're using that you found really useful in your work, go onto the blog or drop us an email or give us a call and let us know, and then we can share it with others as well.
Yes, please. And if you're advanced software developers that have created your own apps for your organization, please share that with us too. I know there are some organizations that are doing that. They've got, I think, PETA, the protection, PETA, they actually have an app for themselves and as part of their fundraising activities. I think in South Africa, we need to get our e-wallets sorted so that we can make our on email, our mobile fundraising activities a bit stronger and optimize on that, but we're not yet there. But I think in the near future it's going to happen very soon because the technology is there. It just needs, I suppose, it just needs to be refined for us. So yeah, I think there's big potential to come in mobile for South Africa.
I think so too. It's quite an exciting space.
Yes, absolutely.
Are there any other questions coming from the group? I don't know if there's anything burning that people might have that they're wanting to learn about.
Nicole, maybe I could just quickly pop in and ask a question. This jumps onto the fact that we are number 5 in the world as far as data usage.
Yes.
Are we also not in a similar position for the cost of data, as far as just the monetary cost of data? I believe, especially with mobile data, correct me if I'm wrong, it's our costs are some of the highest in the world.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is true as well. We have to pay. And this is what Wendell and I, like we were saying just now, we have to be budgeting. This has to be included in our budget costs. It's really high. But yeah, it's the price we have to pay to stay connected, I guess. But I think as South Africans, we want to be connected and we have to be connected. So I think it is something that we have just taken as part of it's now our cost of living. It's part of our cost of living. So yeah, it's unavoidable, I guess.
Okay, well, I will just trying to change my screen and tell you about what we are doing next week. So next week we are doing writing for the web. Nicole, do you want to tell us a little bit about what we'll be learning?
So that is my forte. So we'll be looking at things like writing for the web, yes, how to write short, punchy content or longer, long-winded articles, but also looking at things such as SEO, which is search engine optimization, how to write with search engine optimization best practices and principles in mind, so that you know that your content is going to be indexed by Google, to make sure that whoever's going to be searching for a specific piece of content or a specific keyword, because that's how we are searching on Google, that it's going to be found at the top, well, or at least close enough to the top by our users, by our audiences, because our information is the most relevant. But also just some basics of writing, looking at things like your KISS principle, the who, why, what, where, and when. Famous one. No. Those kind of things. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting one because I love writing. And also things like copywriting, the different types of writing that you get. So it's not just about writing for the web. You also have things like copywriting, which speaks more to advertising, or writing content that's going to draw audience to want to make a purchase or make a donation. So yes, hope to see you all there.
Excellent. Thanks, Nicole. So I was looking through the list of topics that we've covered so far, and we've really done a wide range of applications and different ways of using online platforms. So looking back over the last 7 webinars, we've covered Facebook, Twitter, blogging, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Vimeo, and various applications today under Vine, under mobile technologies. So I've been thinking, wow, we've really covered a whole range of all sorts of things. So it's been a really interesting journey so far.
Yes, I hope everyone has given some thought to the type of platforms they want to be using and already are using, or that they are just using some of the tips in the sessions to make it just a little bit, their efforts just a little bit more worthwhile, and to optimize on it. So yeah.
No, it's been a really interesting series so far.
In fact,
and then also just to...
I was just going to say at the 9th session that we'll look at making it all, how it looks in reality, making that digital campaigning strategy a little bit more real. So putting all of our efforts that we've been doing, looking at all over the past few weeks, how to actually make it look a little bit more real, so that it in practice rather. Yeah.
Excellent. That sounds interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, just to remind everybody that the webinars, the recordings are, and the slides from each of the webinars are all up on the blog. So go along and either download or view any of the webinars that you might have missed and wanting to catch up on or to share them with friends. So the blog is there, and we will send out our reminders next week, Wednesday, for registration for next week. But thank you, Nicole. It's been a really interesting afternoon, so it's been lovely to share the afternoon with you.
Thank you, and thank you, Wendell. Thank you, everyone. I hope it was an informative session for you all.
I think it's been great. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks, Nick, for the help with the technical support too.
Great. Thank you, and see you all next week.
All right. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.